here we are, 12:07 a.m. Just reflecting on the fact that my grandma says I need to work my perspective. So as you can tell, I'm obviously no longer awake at 12:07 a.m. It is later, and by later I mean in time. I have been able to reflect a bit more on my feelings, and that's what I'm going to be talking about right now. Okay, so if you didn't know me, my name is Lauren, and I'm an anxious extrovert who loves movies and hopes to make them one day. Big dreams, baby. I forgot what else I was supposed to say. So, back to the perspective thing. So a couple of days ago, my grandma emailed me and told me that I need to work on my perspective. You may be thinking she's talking about perspective compared to the Spanish flu or the Cold War. And you would be wrong. She was talking about painting, acrylic painting to be precise, and this wasn't the first time she'd mentioned it. This made me think 3 things. 1, maybe I do need to work my perspective if it keeps coming up. 2, maybe not only do I need to work on my perspective with painting, I need to work on my perspective on life. And 3, why is my grandma so unsupportive? I will now be talking about each of those things in that order because that's just easier. So I've been painting on and off for several years now. I think the first painting, I've always been interested in art and stuff, but I didn't start seriously painting maybe until like 2017. I think I could walk around the whole house and try to find my oldest like good painting, but that's a lot of work. I will, however, say one of my paintings is right here. Not the one she said I need to work on my perspective on, but it's a lion. I know his face is a little messed up, but this is from 2017. So maybe it was like the end of 2016. I don't know when in 2017 this was. The painting in question, and I will be inserting a picture here for the most specific time, and by that I mean the most recent time, was a lemon painting with some lemons and like a teacup pouring. You don't see the tea poured, but that's like the gist. And I thought my lemons looked really excellent, but her comment was about my perspective. And admittedly, when I looked at it again, I was like, okay, I get her point. Like the plate looks a little weird. My shadows aren't that good, maybe. But it was still like kind of hurtful because I spent a lot of time on this painting. I spent a lot of hours on this painting. Similarly, the other one she didn't like, or she liked, was this one I did of books and a teacup. Insert an image here, or whatever. And that one I spent a really long time on. I kind of did both these paintings on my own, but also this was last summer, and I had the help of one of my mom's old work friends who is an artist and a painter, and she came and like helped me with like sketching it out and helped me work on like angles and stuff. So I thought it was one of like pretty much my best work to date. And like I thought the teacup looked good, and I was like just feeling really good about myself and about my art. And then she's just like, something's wrong with the teacup and the spoon. And that was just really hard to hear. I know I'm not that great of a painter, but I was thinking I was getting like maybe good at painting-ish, considering that I haven't really had any real lessons, so that is about to change as I am taking an online painting class this summer, which I'm really excited about. My grandma did point it out to me, so maybe that's also another dig, but I am really excited about it. But just to have someone like, sorry, there's a spider. Just have someone like continuously be still like reminding you of your flaws in your art. Something that's supposed to be fun and like not worrisome. And I love painting, and I don't want it to be something that really freaks me out, as I mentioned in other videos. So I don't know, I guess I was thinking I really wanted to work more on like brush techniques, but to feel like I have to work more on perspective again, it just feels like it felt like a big rudimentary push backwards. So that's kind of bumming me out, and especially like to hear it from someone who, well, I guess she's not an expert, but she did do a lot of painting. I think she mostly did oil painting, though she has painting where someone has 6 fingers, and I don't know if she knows that. So I guess if you're watching this video, Grandma, So that was just like, wow. And obviously I was like venting about this because when you're in quarantine, there's not that much news, there's not that much drama. So anything that can be dramified, unfortunately for me, is dramified. So that happened. And then of course, obviously, the horrible, atrocious acts of police brutality have been surfacing. Not that they have not happened before, but like resurfacing, more stuff happening. George Floyd, like especially, I think just after Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery, just like George Floyd's death and the video just really resurged, and a lot of people going up in arms, which I am all for equality, and I've been working to try to sign petitions and donate where I can. But it just got me thinking about like my perspective in life and in that way as well. I know that I am incredibly fortunate and lucky, although I am bisexual and a part of the LGBTQ plus community. I'm white. I've grown up in a relatively affluent area, a nice neighborhood. I've never really been concerned about where I live, if there's any concerns about like someone coming to the house or getting weird looks when I'm walking outside. I've never had to worry about any of that. I did go to a public school, but I had great resources from my parents and like extracurriculars. I was able to take dance classes. I was able to be in the choir. I would play sports when I wanted and then I gave them up. But I had a really privileged, I've had a very privileged life so far. I'm able to go to college. I'm able to have my parents who saved up a lot of money to pay for that education. So I know that I am really lucky just from where I come from. As I saw so aptly put on an Instagram post that I will try to put up here, I understand that I will never understand what it's like to be a person of color or to be Black. I understand you could be a person of color and Black, but I was watching a video, I think it was by Wreck-Up, Madison Harnish was like doing an interview with him, and he was saying that he kind of separates those two, so I just separated them there. It's been a mental grapple for me because I guess I don't really know like what I can really do beyond trying to use my platform such as it is to promote the cause of equality and talk about the protests and the movements and what's happening, and then donate and sign petitions. That just feels like that's not enough, but I don't know what else I can do. And just reading a lot of posts about all these things, kind of like checking your privilege and seeing all these things that it's like, yes, I don't think about those things. I don't wonder when I go to pick something up if someone's gonna feel like I'm stealing. I don't worry that if I'm having trouble with a key in a car, like someone's gonna be like, what are they doing to the car? Like, I just assume people think, oh, I'm having trouble opening my door. I guess it's just like, here I was thinking that I was like relatively aware of racism, and I worked to, support my friends regardless of their skin tones, but I've been really appreciating all these posts talking about how to specifically be anti-racist and how if you're white to use your white privilege to lift others up, and I think those have just been really great, really beneficial, and all in all really adding to my like life reflection on like what I have, and wondering like how different my life would be if I was born Black, or just any part of my like circumstances be very different. And I know it's like maybe potentially a deep way to go from a lemon painting, but I think that just perspective, whether you're painting or on a life subject, like that can take time to master. I obviously haven't mastered it in painting, and I wonder if I hope to master it sooner in life than in painting. But I know it'd be like a challenge, but I needed someone to like really point it out multiple times for me to really think, okay, I need to work on this. My grandma needed to point it out a couple times, other people to really get me to kind of hopefully now really buckle down on this painting thing. And unfortunately, I and a lot of other people who have privilege, sorry, my dog's whining out the door. We've had to get additional reminders of what is going on before it can really sink in, and hopefully that just like I've been reflecting on what's going on.
I'm sorry. Can you move that so I can grab my mouse?
Yeah, sorry. Okay, I got totally distracted, but I think I was saying something along the lines of I hope that like, others have also really been inspired to reflect and act and know that like it is 2020, like this has to end, this being like racism. So just like in the last video, I will be putting links in the bio. I will be putting links in the description for if you want to. I don't know why I can't think right now. I guess I really should have just filmed the whole thing at 12:07 in the morning because I obviously had a purpose then versus now. Links so you can educate yourselves, just like I've been educating myself and working to still do that. Donate, sign petitions, etc. Once again, this is not the end of this discussion, but it's the end for now, for me, in this video. So the last thing I want to talk about to try to end the video on a slightly more positive note is, or lighthearted note maybe, not positive, is why my grandma is not more supportive of me. My other grandmother, who sadly passed away from cancer, she was very supportive of me. I remember when I first started playing the guitar, I played something and I was very proud of myself, and I was 7. And she was very proud of me, and my grandpa, who was perfect pitch, was like, none of those notes were right. So, but she was really supportive, and she would always come to my dance recitals. I mean, my grandma did too, but she would come to like the dress rehearsal of the dance recital. You know, she was that awesome grandmother who was like always there, always like super cheerful, really proud, and just like amazing. Not that my other grandma's not amazing. She's just different. She's also very supportive, proud of me and my accomplishments. She just also tells it like it is. And she once told me when I was wearing pink and red when I was a child that, was I really wearing that outside? Because, you know, pink and red, and I said yes. And I did. But, you know, I guess right now, I think I'm at that point where I guess I am 20 now. I guess I'm 20, I am 20. So I should be accepting the responsibilities and the critiques and the criticisms was coming with really being an adult. But I guess I don't feel like an adult. And I was watching one video and I found out one of the YouTubers that I really like is actually younger than me. I thought she was like a little older than me, potentially a couple years older than me. So that was kind of shocking because she's so mature, and this is Emily Lee I'm talking about. She's so mature and everything, and then I'm like a total mess compared to her. And I know we're not supposed to compare ourselves to others and everything, but it just was like, maybe if I was more, I don't know. I feel like there's so many different kinds of 20-year-olds these days, but like maybe if I acted more whatever I'm supposed to be, like she'd be more supportive. But then also it's like, this is just her way of trying to help me grow. So I'm trying to think of it more like that. I think, as I mentioned earlier in the video, it's just like a weird time, and I feel like I'm taking things like either really personally or like not personally at all, or things that aren't that big a deal because I have nothing else to be a big deal. It's a big deal. Probably making a mountain out of a molehill because I had literally a whole video inspired by an email that was like 2 sentences long about my perspective on a painting. But I just have a lot of pent-up energy. Not rage, but pent-up rage because of the protests. Pent-up energy because of quarantine. Also, to clarify, the protests, I meant more about the reasons for the protests and the looting specifically. But the protests themselves, the peaceful ones, I am all for. Yeah, I think that's all I want to say for now. Once again, links down below to support where you can. My sister is getting really loud. I wonder if you can hear her. We're gonna swap rooms eminently. And my ring light was on the white light instead of the orange red light. So let me know if that made a difference to you. And don't forget to like this video if you liked it. Comment down below anything you want to comment down below. And be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my lifestyle videos or my Film Friday series. And I will see you next time. Please stay safe and healthy, everybody. And